Here we go. VSC really quick edition.
Good morning and welcome to the most dangerous show of the week.
Hello, welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow VSC edition. I don't know if you heard me up by the camera, but this will be really quick because look, you found my old piece. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We were getting our last 10 packages of 30 plus packages from break and right after break, ready to go this morning. We have a little bit left to do, but we're good enough that we can film, and the shop should open in less than 20 minutes. So yay, we're here though. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and chilly and hopefully not going to be as cold as yesterday, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz, I'm the minion there.
I was gonna look at the weather. So VSC, virtual shopping channel, we are back in action. And what that means is what we talk about today will be 15% off in the online shop and at our physical location until we film one of these next week. So, and the code you use online is product of the week, right?
Yes.
With spaces.
With spaces.
Product space of space, the space week. It's a little complicated, but it's the way we set it up. So, and we're not changing it now.
Yarn and Notion, and it.
Yeah, we try. It's just no, it's just easier this way. So I'm checking how warm it's gonna get today. There's so many things we still have to do today. I tried doing so last night at knit night. We talked about pineappling your hair. I'd never heard of this before, like piling it all up on top of your head. And I'm like, there's no way this is gonna work. I'm gonna wear my hair down tomorrow because my hair just dies overnight.
It worked.
This is okay. I'll take this. This is, could be a lot worse. I just had to get that out because Liz knows it's been on my mind all morning.
Yeah.
Now we can move on. Also, it's going to be 40 today, or it's 40 right now.
Mid-50s.
It's 40 right now. I can't read my own app. Like, who is surprised by this? Mid-50s. That's like balmy.
Yeah, except for when the sun leaves the patio, then it's going to be like mid-40s.
I only drank half my coffee this morning.
With a wind chill in the mid-30s. So,
So I'm hopefully having lunch with a couple of old friends today, and I would feel better and safer if we did it outside. It's gonna be cold. So, okay. So Liz, what do we have today? I let Liz pick things out because I was working on the computer.
So I decided since it was cold, we needed to add some warmth to our knitting. And what better warmth to add than the devil's yarn?
Is it the devil's yarn because it's as warm as the fires of hell?
It's the devil's yarn for a couple of reasons. So,
for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, hold tight.
So it's mohair.
There we go.
You
didn't have to hold tight for long.
it's the little puff balls. I call it the devil's yarn for two reasons. One, it adds heat and it's hotter than the fires of hell. And people are like, I'm gonna double strand mohair and make a sweater and wear it. And I'm like, are you cold-blooded or hot?
It's also a little
very warm.
It's because it's devil's yarn because it's a little cantankerous to work with.
Yes.
Not super. It's not like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't work with it because you said it was cantankerous.
No.
It's a little finicky.
It's easier to tank out.
It wants to grip to itself.
So it's with something else.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is we have a great hack. If you take your project and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, it freezes the hair stiff and you can pull it out easier. So yeah, devil's yarn.
I'm going to back up a second and talk about what mohair is for people who don't know. So when most people talk about mohair, they are referring to, I'm going to take one of the non-sparkly, half sparkly, but one of the non-sparkly. They're referring to like mohair, first of all. Mohair is a really soft fiber that comes from a goat.
Angora goat.
Yes. And cashmere is another yummy fiber that comes from goats. Is that a different type of goat?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it's just a different part, like,
Nope.
different cuts of a cow, right? No goats were harmed in the making of this yarn. So yes, mohair is actually goat fur, whatever fiber. But when most people mention mohair by itself, just saying, I use mohair instead of like a blend, This is actually a blend, but most people when they talk about mohair are talking about this itty bitty teeny tiny stuff. And it is actually mohair and silk, because mohair by itself, I don't think you could actually just spin by itself.
You can. Like I
She would
just
know better
bought a
than me.
mohair blend that's mohair and
mohair.
no merino.
Okay, but that's not mohair spun by itself.
No, mohair spun by it's like you can get mohair locks that are long, but most people when they think of mohair, they think of the very short staple halo around a silk core.
Yeah, a short staple means like short piece, and it's really hard to spin something that's going to hold together if it's really short.
Yeah.
So yes, silk core to hold it. So if you look really, really close at mohair, you're going to see like a really fine core with fuzzies flying off of it. Not eyelash yarn, but fuzzies. So, but it's lovely. Like, don't be deceived by how thin it is. It usually falls in a lace weight category. If you're hunting around our website, you'll probably find it in the lace weight category. It is really warm.
The little hairs grab air bubbles, and then your body heats those air bubbles, and then you spontaneously combust.
Well, yeah, But if you live somewhere really cold, like so,
it's a great addition to heat.
But people who live in warm climates, if you're like, oh, it's really thin, it'll be perfect for Florida. No, it will not, unless you're going in somewhere with extreme air conditioning.
Or you're really cold natured.
Yes, you need to be warmed up because you always run cold. Then it's fine. Just know what you're getting into. So we have several varieties. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast. I'm a little conscious of time. My fault. So we have Sugar Bush Drizzle is it's 25 gram ball. Liz will read stats while she's looking up the stats to read. Sugar Bush has gone out of business. So what we have is what we have. We cannot order more. Grab it while we have it.
So Sugar Bush Drizzle is 76% super kid mohair with 24% silk. You get 219 yards per 25 gram.
It's a lot of yardage for that much weight.
Yeah. They're recommending a US 5 to a 9.
Have fun
like
with
if
it.
you're just gonna knit with it by itself, because they want it to fluff and they want it to halo.
You don't want it to be super tight.
If you do it tight, it's gonna be sadness.
What's our retail price?
We retail it for $9.95.
Okay, and it'll be 15% off this week. We have a bunch of solids. Again, how much we have is questionable. We are starting to look in a replacement for this, but we've only experimented with a couple colors from Rico, from Universal Yarns, and they're not on the website yet. So, but here's an example. This is one skein of the Sugar Bush mohair. One skein will get you this lovely. This is the Puddle Jumper hat. It might be free on Ravelry. I don't know. It was written by Sugar Bush. I don't know what's happened with their patterns. Lovely slouchy hat. It's one strand of mohair held by itself on 3 and 5 needles. Like the brim's on 3s, the rest of it's on 5s. So one skein of 25 grams can get you this much knitting if you knit it by itself. The other thing, before we start going into things like held with something else, Liz grabbed this out. I was like, oh, you found this. I was making a cardigan out of see, look at that. You can see my outfit through this. This is single stranded mohair on a 10. It is super, super fine, but really soft. Mohair is so soft and wonderful. And this is see-through, but I bet it could actually keep me warm on like a fall or spring day if I'd made the whole long sleeve. I think it only needed like 5 balls. It was crazy. So may or may not be able to find the pattern for this to post online. And I only made 1.5 pieces of it. And we're out of this color. It's gone because Sugar Bush. So I would like to go through the other varieties, and then we're going to talk about holding it with other stuff, because that is like the perfect thing to do if you're like, that's too thin, I can't work with that. So
we have Rico's Essentials. It is super kid mohair and silk. It is a 50 gram ball.
It's a lot of yarn.
375 meters.
That's like it's about 400 yards.
And they come in
It's color changing.
changing.
I will show off what that looks like when held with another yarn in just a minute.
We are retailing them for $29.95, save 15% off this week.
Yes. So again, but ton of yarn on those guys. So don't let the 50 grams fool you. Like 50 grams in mohair language is a lot of yarn. The last thing, I'm going to pass this off to Liz. We're not showing off all the colors. A, we don't have time. B, there's so many colors that we have. This is the Lana Gatto Silk Mohair Lux, however you want to say it, Lux. It's got sparkle. It might not show up on camera, but the Lana Gatto has sparkle in it, which is makes it a little rougher, but when held with another yarn, like the synthetic that sparkles is a little rougher than mohair and silk by itself. When held with another yarn though, it's really not that. I've got my sweater I'll hold up in a second. It's really, it's not like scratchy.
It's a great way to add sparkle.
It really
and
is.
softness to another yarn if you want sparkle.
And we have lots of fun colors. We have a small color palette of this one.
It is 25 grams for 230 yards.
There's a lot more yardage actually on these than the sugar bush. It's interesting.
Yes.
So you'd think that the synthetic would like, do you have?
So I didn't read these numbers. This is 70% mohair and 30% silk. This is 78% mohair, 14% silk, 4% nylon, and 4% polyester.
It could be the different percentages of mohair adds, you know, it changes it, but like black sparkly and navy sparkly, and it's so much fun.
We are retailing them for $15.95.
There you go, 15% off this week. So what you've got a fingerless mitten gauntlet thing.
Yes,
there,
which I made out of Shetland wool and added a strand of mohair because the Shetland wool was a little bit rough on the inside of my arm.
and this is great.
But adding the mohair to it, it softens.
So
it
the
so much.
Shetland wool, that's the sport weight, and you
walkabout.
combined it with mohair.
Yes.
Do you remember what needles you
I
knit that
want to
on?
say I did a 7.
Okay. So so takes it up to a worsted weight, almost DK worsted weight. This is my behemoth. I'm doing a couple behemoth sweaters of, this is showing what the color changing mohair does.
It is fantastic.
When it's held with, I'm holding it with a strand of white fingering weight yarn. So you can see how the color changing happens. And you get about like one of these big skeins to 100 gram fingering weight skein. They're about equal because you've got the 50 grams here to the 100 grams there. The yardage is about equal. So I'm into my second skein of both. This is so soft and lovely. It really equals a DK weight. This is PetiteKnit's No Frills Sweater. It's a simple raglan pullover. I wanted a simple sweater to show off the fun things that the yarn does. This is another one that I made. Fingering weight. Both of the yarns had sparkle in them. It's so much fun. This is the calliope. You totally can't see. It's just black, so it's hard to see the pattern. There you go. You can see the sparkle. Fingering weight held with a sparkly mohair. Both of them had sparkle. This is my fancy dress sweater, kind of. And it is super soft, but I knit it like knitting a DK weight yarn, holding the two together. Our notion
is super exciting.
Liz was inspired because since we're doing mohair, my favorite contraption to keep my mohair from dissolving into a puddle and getting tangled is to keep it in the Yarnit. And then my mohair can just, this is for my sweater, it can just roll around in there. Like this is our hamster wheel, yay! So the Yarnit comes with a rubber bottom so that it grips the table. You can take it off and put notions in there if you want. And in there, when you buy it, is a strap you can weave in so you can hang it on your shoulder or hang it off of something. I don't use that. But the Yarnit is really cool because, yeah, it's a hamster wheel. It's got a little latch right here that you can open and close. And the holes, whoops, I lost my little thing on the bottom. The holes for your, you lost yarn. What are we doing today? It's because the shop should open in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Panic. No. The two holes for your yarn to come out of are right on this dividing line where it opens. So your yarn can be pulled out of a hole, or this hole actually comes all the way up to the top. Trying to get a good angle on that. So your yarn is never trapped, because some yarn bowls that you can feed it out of a hole, then you're stuck until you're out of yarn.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of that.
No.
Mine has fallen off the table several times, mostly due to my cat knocking it off. And it has never broken. I think the latch might be a hair looser than it was when I bought it, but it still holds. This is great if you have animals that try to get at your yarn while you're knitting, because it's pretty well contained. And it is small and portable. Its cousin, the Yarnit, is not on sale this week. It's the Big Sully. Sorry, its cousin, the Big Sully, which is huge, is not on sale this week. Just the Yarnit. But the Yarnit is really great for 1 ball of yarn and for 1 ball of mohair. It's really fantastic, because you can just let it rattle around in there forever, and it's going to keep its shape, and it's going to be wonderful. So that is the Yarnit. What's the retail?
The retail price is $36.95.
And it's 15% off this week. We have a few of these left in the shop. Honestly, our inventory, if you go online, our inventory is a little sad right now, because the combination of having an awesome sale while we were on break and and we didn't want to order anything that would arrive while we were gone. So we had to wait until we came back to order, which means it won't arrive for a few weeks. This part of January, we're not going to have everything everybody wants. And so be patient with us. Contact the shop if you'd like to pre-order anything, and we will restock stuff as soon as we can. We still have a couple minutes, but we already have people outside, believe it or not. Yesterday was insane. We are thankful, but we're tired. So it was insane. But I have Bernie coffee today. So I'm doing much better than yesterday morning already, because I have the good stuff. We have someone who is ticking down the minutes until 10 o'clock, and someone else who's going to come by and pick something up right around 10 o'clock. So we will, I'm sure there's things I want to talk about today that we will just get to tomorrow, because some people don't even watch this show anyway. They should, because it's just fun, even if you're not going to buy from us, but that's okay. I don't judge. I just say shoulds, but that's just kind of judgy. I'd like them to. How about that? So tomorrow is Dear Becky and Lizzie edition, and we have at least one question. And then Friday is virtual sit and stitch from 7 to 9 p.m. We had a good crowd yesterday. It was fun. You should come hang out with us. It's really great. The Echo Point we'll talk about tomorrow. I started it last night. I did just a little bit. I want to mention, Liz is like, we should go. I'm sorry. I see that. I started a Facebook Sun Dragon KAL. Search that on Facebook if you want to either skulk and see what people are making with the Echo Point knit along, or if you want to share pictures of your Echo Point knit along. I am going to only share pictures that have been emailed to me at the end of this episode if I have time. And only a couple have. Like, I will not share without your permission. If you post on Instagram or the Sun Dragon knit along on Facebook, don't assume I'm going to share it, because I only will share it if you put in your caption, please share this on YouTube, or please share this on on the newsletter. You can share this off of this site, because the Sun Dragon knit along is a private group that you have to be asked to be let in, but you're going to be let in. But then we have a safe community. Other thing, I have to make a correction on when the Sunday sit and stitch is this month.
Yes.
I said the 12th. That's not a Sunday. I think it's the 16th. The 16th is our next afternoon dual platform. It sounds a lot better, doesn't it? We will see you all tomorrow. We got to go.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell,
ring
Patreon,
the bell.
all the fun stuff.
Oh my gosh, we are like 26 people away from our next sale in terms of subscribers. So please subscribe, because you'll help us all save money. Okay, bye. Getting this on. Here we go.